So it's been a minute. Checking in, updates, shit like that. So I'm pretty close to like I don't know 4 or 5 thousand pages of reading and research and um, understanding, overstanding of what the law says, what the United States Supreme Court says about certain issues, and the governing principles and bodies over those things. And what I've found is that it's definitely a state. It's a statewide conspiracy, a agency-wide conspiracy against people and their families. And yeah, these motherfuckers are insane, bro. They will try anything to separate you under the parents patriae, and which that means that the state, and your parent have a type of relationship, and that absent the father, the state then comes in as that male figure to administer certain attributes of the cess decay, the inter vivos, the property in rem, the trust rest. They do that because people don't know. People think that by them forcing you or using scare tactics, which is military tactics at that point, to get you to do certain things that you don't want to do. And what I found out is that you don't have to do those things. You don't have to. You don't have to send your kids to school. It's your right to educate them. Real shit. Now, if you just saying they homeschool, but they slow when they get to 16 or whatever, that's different. That's some whole other shit. That's yeah, nah, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? For me personally, I chose a hybrid schedule for my family, for my sons, for my heirs, where I allowed them the first 3 days of the week to participate in public school, and then Friday or Thursday, Friday, they're home, and we're solidifying our curriculum, which are things that the schools can't touch on, whether it be by contract, basically by topic, things like that, stuff that they can't touch. That's all me. Um, and I also go over the topics that they're going through there because what I also found out is that these schools have a curriculum that is agreed upon by the state. They submitted something by the state, and it has to be what they said progressively. It just has to be in sequence. You know what I'm saying? So they teach them this at this stage, then go in this stage, and this, so on and so forward. Gradual steps towards learning a topic or solidifying a topic. Well, what I found is that my curriculum meets that and some. So there's no way around the fact that I'm wholly qualified to do what the schools are doing. Especially for my sons, my heirs. But yeah. So where I am now with the process is that I've been muted by a judge uh, on multiple occasions. Um, and so I'm getting ready to go and sue for that. And what I found out about the immunity is that when a judge or a government official or a person working a job interferes with constitutionally protected rights, there is no immunity, especially when you can prove that these things happened. So to mute a person is not only to take their freedom of speech, but it also takes their opportunity and due process. Why? Because we are afforded the ability to examine and cross-examine materials submitted to any court or any judge who's seeking to judge against. Um, and What else was there? There's a few other things with that. And there's an article that I have right here. This was recently. This was January 12th of 2022. It states that there is no sick days for constitutional rights, meaning even though we ain't in person and this is virtual, and you have a little bit of power with your fingers to just click the mute button, you shouldn't have done that. Judge, ex officio capacity, private contractor, you subject to the state because you pledged the oath to the Constitution. So when you did that, you waged war against the people and the Constitution and the United States. So those are just things that have happened. And yes, they pissed me off when it happened, but it prompted, I took that anger, that rage, and those tears, and I went and I found what I needed. Of course, it took me a day or so to get calm because of the situation and how they're attempting to infiltrate my family and take my firstborn. He's much older now. Um, but yeah, man, I'm finding that out. I also found out that the males are the only ones who can hold contract to property, and the female seeds have to be subsidized. They don't have power to make contracts. At least that's how they've been, how this state works, or how what I found out. And it's crazy because I didn't know that. Now I understand why this state tries to go so hard for the female, but it also tells you that, well, we're not representing the mother, we're representing the child and the child's best interest. Well, that is false. And I found that that's false, especially with this particular state of Wisconsin. There is no separation, and they attempt to propagate, or to they attempt to propagate that there is when it isn't, and I've proven that within this case alone. So I'm just looking forward um to actually getting that done. Oh, that's cool. Um, yeah, he's shoveling with plywood. Pretty dope. Pretty dope. Um, but just looking into these things have caused a visceral reaction within myself, and I have to get this out because people will assume that, oh, I'm okay and that nothing's going on. No, like, I had at one point almost lost my shit behind this. Like, it's excruciating to have somebody come, not directly into your home, but come into your home and take what you've cared for years, and especially for Biomom. Niggas wait until he good and available and people are praising him and what he's doing and who he is, his personality. But now all of a sudden you got something to do with that. When the last 7 years of his life you've been doing what? Leaving him everywhere you possibly can to go do whatever it is that you possibly been doing. So um another major thing that took place for me was the fact that they reported out that I've interfered with this person's or Biomom's ability to keep a job. You hear what I'm saying? They accused me of interfering with commerce. That's a federal offense, and they wrote this shit on paper. So now it's slander or libel, right? Because it's not a fact. It wasn't adjudicated by a judge, and no charges have been formally filed. No charges were filed at all, and I've been asking for about 5 months now. So, um, my question to them was, okay, well, how have I interfered with your ability to get commerce when my son is with me Wednesday to Monday one week and then Wednesday to Saturday morning the next? It makes no sense. What to do? I believe I put them back in there. Yeah, Jeremiah. Okay, I got you. But yeah, that's that. My question to them was, how, if Wednesday to Monday one week, Wednesday to Saturday morning the next, Um, nah, the only person interfering with you working is you. It's simple. Fucking facts. Facts. Only person interfering with your job is you. And from what I understand and have uncovered is that not only aren't you working a regular 9 to 5, you're working outside, working out of your house or out of your resident and certain shit, especially in cosmetology and esthetician and all of that shit. You need a license for the use of chemicals, dyes, all of that shit. You need a license for. You need to be licensed for prior to doing so. Like, and I know not everybody do that because everybody got a chance to get their practice, and I get that. I ain't worried about that. But when you say that I've interfered with your ability to get commerce, but you're doing illegal commerce, now I have to bring it up. I didn't. I don't say anything in the beginning, but now I have to. I absolutely have to. Who who in their right fucking mind would continue to allow people to lie? Like, oh yeah, I did that. Nah, you goddamn right. I was with my son with the during the times that I was supposed to be. If that hindered your job, that's a personal issue. But I won't keep going on that. I'll because that shit causes me to fray a little bit. Lemony Snickets type shit. It's unfortunate. Um, so my trial and error right now is that I am, like I said, in a place to where I feel like I'm at a disadvantage. But I've already submitted these findings to the Supreme Court and to the Supreme Court because I don't have time for this shit. Like I don't like I appreciate the lesson that the universe is attempting to teach me. I appreciate the opportunity to learn to be this person, especially for other people if I have to, but firstly and foremost for myself. Like back. But yeah, man, like who the fuck wants to, even think about that kind of stuff, like to even have that on their mind that somebody's trying to bombard them and take from them what God gave because you can't like. And another thing, right? They were talking about, well, he's been missing a lot of school. No, he has not. 30 days over the last 2 years is a lot. No, it's not. No, it's not. You haven't taken into account how many of those days were days off. Motherfuckers haven't taken into account how many of those days he was actually sick because he is going through something physically and within the blood. What they call it, intravenous, the venous, the blood. Um, yeah. What? Stop playing with me. And so, where I am now with it is I've done the homeschooling thing. I've been doing the homeschooling thing since he was yay high, like real talk. And I got tons of photos and shit like that. But again, anytime I try to bring this stuff up, the judge is like, "Oh no, well, we're not going back," and then it's this and that. Well, if you remove the beginning of the thing, you remove the thing in its entirety. That's a maxim of law. So if you're not gonna let me establish my baseline, my timeline, then we're not. This is not a discussion. This is not even a trial. This is you saying what you think, and that's not how that works. I'm holding court. You get what I'm saying? That's me. That's my fucking property. So um um so yeah, man, like I said, I'm just there. I'm going through the motions of so many different aspects of this. Like and I'm grateful. I'm in pain, but I'm fucking grateful. Stressed, but I'm fucking grateful. You know why? Because I wouldn't have this knowledge if it hadn't have happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they call that the catch 22. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Even more damned if you don't in this case, in these particular happenings. Man, fight them people tooth and fucking nail. They don't allow for them to tell you what you can and cannot do. It's your life. That's what manifest destiny is. That's what the First Amendment is all about. That was the reason for the Constitution, is because states or sovereign territories were trying to impede on other sovereign territories. So they had to come up with something that would allow, or that would allow a decrease, or it would prompt a decrease in the bloodshed, but it would do more for the aspects of business and commerce, which is what they were doing. They was stealing the fucking land anyway. Let's just be real. You can't sell land. You didn't have it. You didn't make it, so you can't sell it. You can sell yourself, but you can't sell the land that was created by God. You can only transfer it. You can make a claim to the land, which is what we've done, but selling it is something different. You know, that's a transfer of assets, and you should receive it as a gift. Um, and I'm just looking at a lot of the stuff that has happened, and it baffles me, man. Talking about, I go through extreme fits of confusion. Like, how are these people still doing shit like this? And the answer has always been, or often been, that not enough people stand up for it. They don't. They just let it happen. They literally just let that shit happen, and they give up. Some fight until they can't no more. Like, another thing, it's absolutely illegal for a judge to threaten you with police force, military power, or any sanction on your mobility. That's fucking illegal. So that happened to me. I sent that in, or I'm getting ready to send that in now. No, I did that. I did that. Yeah, I did that already. I sent that straight to the Supreme Court. I sent the quo warranto for everybody on the case. I sent the quo warranto for the state itself, or at the very least, a distress of bond. The charter is distressed now until it is fixed, and that's not gonna be easy, man, for them. And then Spirit also talks about, you know, uh, uh, don't be a sore winner. Like, when you get what you get, don't have a fit. Just get the fuck on, because it's really about the air. It's really about the property. You know, all that other shit I can gain, but you know, and I can have other children too, but I put work in, man. I got sweat equity and intellectual property vested. I'm not going. I am not going. Bottom line, that's all me. I've spent more time with it with my heir than any person on this earth. Any person on this earth. Bottom line. You be like, oh, well, he go to school all the time. Nah, man, that's 8 hours. And then peep game. They got these children performing duties that most adults don't. Most adults don't work 40 hours a week. So why the fuck am I gonna subject my sons to doing that? If they're tired, they're fucking tired. They're tired. I wish my mom and them had stood up for me like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was fear that the states put on them. And I know if my mom knew, or my people knew what was going on then, like other families did, man, this shit wouldn't even be a thing. I would have, fuck out of here. A ticket for who? Tabs for what? So anybody that has ever experienced being kidnapped by the tab services, y'all need to revisit that shit. Statute of limitations don't start acting until 18. At least that's in Connecticut or California, one of them, where they say the statutes of limitations, and you know, you got a certain amount of years to prosecute or to bring notice and shit like that. Well, there's no statute of limitations on fraud. Fraud is fucking fraud is fucking fraud. So when I found out, that's when I brought it to your attention. So you can try and deny me my remedy, but I'm telling you right now, it ain't gonna work. I'm gonna keep banging. I'm gonna keep banging on y'all. I'm trying to do it in a private right now, but eventually I'm gonna go public. I'm gonna start dropping these motherfuckers like flies. Bottom line, somebody's gonna listen, and at the very least, I know what I can do. I got a plan. So, just making things known, making things readily available and identifiable. Like it comes down to just patience and diligence. Like what they say, the race is not given to the swift nor the strong, but he who can endure until the end. And I've chosen my endurance. You know what I'm saying? I chose to be a father. I didn't walk away from my kids. I didn't deadbeat like most, like most kings afraid to see themselves vulnerable or in a state of a child. You know what I'm saying? Most people don't even want to think about their childhood, let alone a child that looks like them in a childhood. You know what I'm saying? So it's so many different things that I could go on, man, and I get the fucking rambling. Like I feel like I'm rambling right now, but I'm very clear about what I'm stating. Where I am right now is a fight. It's a fight. It's a fight. And I'm almost there. I know it. I can feel it. You know what I'm saying? Everything that's been happening, everything that's been confirmed in what I'm doing and going through. Yeah, man, absolutely. Absolutely. These people haven't sent, what they needed to. I've given enough time for them to do what they're supposed to do. And yeah, man, it's what they say, notice of default, notice of dishonor, default, summary judgment. Cause that's where I'm at right now. And so I'm waiting on them to reply. In 24 hours time, I'm gonna send in my notice again, update to let it be known. Hey, these things are happening every day. Every day I'm charging. Every day. I'm gonna keep sending an invoice. Um, so yeah, yeah. So that's actually what I'm about to do right now. Is they got my fee schedule already. Um, or what I'm about to do is create the invoice for these particular happenings and send it because now I know I'm owed. I know it. Supreme Court law, case law, um, shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I've been really. Connecticut was where it is. The statute of limitations, Connecticut. I knew it was one of those. But yeah, man, I've been really diving deep, like deep, deep dives. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like deep dives. You know. So I don't think y'all saw that, but this one is Brokaw v. Mercer County. This happened in 2000. So peep this, get that one. I showed y'all the other one, and the last one that you guys didn't see, or the ones that I'm willing to show. Um, I haven't finished reading it yet, so in order for me to fully endorse the material, I have to vet the material, so I got to read through it. I got to get all the way through it. Um, oh, this is a beautiful time to be alive, man. To see what's happening with the system and how things are changing and where they're changing and who they're changing for. Just hang, not hang in there. Fuck hanging. People have hung for way too long. There's no more strange fruit. All right. No more life force. Gracias. Um, but let's continue to stand fast. You understand? Keep your head high. You know, be leveled. Be leveled. You know, and take account. Always take account. Like it brings me chills to say that, but always take account of the things that's happening. Like I got a spreadsheet that I keep for my trust property, and everything that's happening, including who I'm speaking to, when they called, all of those interactions, I record, put them in the spreadsheet, take the amount of time, and this, and that, and I charge my base rate. Charging my base rate. Because in order for me to be in honor, I have to do these things. And because I have to do these things, it takes time from other things. So now I'm making time or attempting to make time for something that has already been allotted. You know, they say it's only 24 hours in a day. Well, that's not true. You sleep for 8 of those. You work for another 8 of those. You try to recover for the other 8 after you get done. You living your life in in 3 stages of 8 every day, 365 days a year? No, not I. So I'm giving time to these people to get this shit right because you're using my name, you're using my likeness, and I own those. I own those. I'm the holder in due course. Um, I have my license to do business in my name, in my likeness. Um, I have my document from the government stating that I have full faith and credit to utilize and represent and administer the Social Security or the certificated instrument, certificated security, which is the birth certificate. Um, yeah, man. What else can I say, bro? Like a lot. Let me not try to put it off like I'm done because I'm not. But what I will do is tell you all that I appreciate y'all. I love y'all for watching. And for everybody who's spying on me and my family, for everybody who's going out of their way to make my life uncomfortable on the behalf of the stories they're being told by these other people, I appreciate you because what you're doing is giving me the fuel I need to continue to stay in my dungeon, in my dojo, and continue to learn. Because once I emerge, ain't no fucking with it. I don't fuck with the person I was back then either, but I ain't him no more. So if that's still y'all table conversation, y'all eating old fucking food. It's decomposed already. Dead meat. You're zombies right now. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Big fucking zombies right now. So um I yield the floor at this point to making this known that you're everything you're meant to be. All right, everything you're meant to be, with the capacity and opportunity to make that thing better, to make you better, to be who you choose to be. Hmm? Yeah, everything you're meant to be, but you have a choice to be who you want to be. Choose wisely. That's all. But choose something, man. Because you know, shit that sits still, like the analogy that I just came to mind. When you sit still, you got potential energy, you got kinetic energy. Shit that's moving, spirit energy. But those things, when they sit still for too long, they become calloused and they begin to erode the vessel. Look at nuclear reactors. Look at people who are bedridden, get sores and stuff all over their body from laying in one spot for too long, right? Um, but keep y'all heads up. I love y'all. Baby girl's calling for me, so I'm gonna get out here and do what I gotta do, man. Hands in, team.